I'm going to show you this Scott Galloway clip that says it takes men 200 swipes to get a coffee. And of those coffees, 4 out of 5 flake or ghost them, which means they take 1,000 to actually have one coffee.
Out of average attractiveness has to swipe right 200 times to get one coffee, and then 4 of those 5 coffees will ghost him.
The desert for guys. I run a community for singles over 40, and I talk to thousands of people about dating every year. I'm Sue, and I am the North American dating over 40 expert. And I can tell you this, both sides are miserable, completely for different reasons. So let me explain what's actually happening in modern dating and why everyone feels so frustrated and what you can do about it. Let's start with the men. Most guys will never say this publicly, but they're embarrassed. And the truth is they're getting angry. Dating apps are brutal for guys. They're angry that they're not able to figure this out. They're feeling rejected and sad. You know, Scott talks about how they go online and see this misogynist content, which is concerning. But the idea, if you imagine applying for 200 jobs and hearing nothing back. I remember when I was starting my podcast and literally looking, trying to get sponsors and guests, and you write and write and write and you get discouraged and you stop trying. And guys, they do that. They go somewhere where they won't get rejected. I just literally less than a week ago came back from Thailand, and I was in Pattaya, where you see Western men walking the streets, and people love to judge that. But the truth is these guys weren't just looking for sex. They're looking for touch. They're looking for intimacy. They're looking for relief from rejection. And for a few $100s, they can spend time with beautiful women, and lots of them, who smile and touches them and tells them they're important and calls them handsome. And suddenly they feel seen. And that tells you something important about male psychology. Men will go very far. It was 27 hours of me flying to escape rejection. And they'll do a lot not to have that feeling. And sex is part of the human condition, and we all want it. And they're going to go there. I think that guys they're checking out. Women have the opposite problem. The women, they get matches, sometimes hundreds of them, but quantity does not equal quality. I run my over 40 Facebook group, and literally when I started it, 50% of the people who applied were fake. We checked every profile, pretending to be a surgeon, or the ones that used to fake it, the Facebook ones, and they're fake. So how do you've got scammers, you've got all kinds of people, or you've got a lot of guys going, hey, I say hey is for horses, hi, babe, you're beautiful. Tons of frogs. But which ones are actually princes? Because you're standing in a swamp. And it feels like the second conversation is about sex. And here's the bigger issue. In dating community, I would estimate that half of the profiles we see are, not going to, they're not going to get through to you. And what do you need to do if people are pretending to be someone else? So some women develop extreme filtering. And that filtering is what makes men invisible. So we have that circle, and both sides are reacting to the same broken system. Men feel rejected, women feel flooded, and nobody trusts anybody. And it's scary to get off your couch and try to be, redo high school and walk into the dance. And even if you're confident and you've got a lot going on, dating today is marketing, and it's scary. So, I do this dating comeback program where I actually hold your hand and we walk and we do education and we get you to the point, we get you a wing woman, we do image consulting, we get you your headshots and all of that stuff. And the product is you, your photos, your energy, and not just on dating apps, because I think they all suck. I really do. But it's selling your personality, your story. And if you don't stand out, you disappear, right? You want to be a billboard. I tell people something very simple. You need volume. You cannot sit on your couch hoping someone amazing just appears. It doesn't work like that. You need to figure this out. You need dates, and dates every week. Experiences, you need all of those things. So conversations, and you need to meet a lot of people. If you're not talking to things, because chemistry is rare and compatibility is even more rare. So if you're not doing these things every week, you're going to get stuck. And there's the solution is actually pretty simple. It's people hate hearing it. It's you need more reps. You need to practice. I do a practice dating thing with my group. So over40connect.com, if you haven't checked it out, go do that. More social environments, more real life interaction, and practice dating. Join groups, go to events, see what you can do. Try speed dating, take classes, travel. I have a place where you put yourself where single people actually exists. Because the thing that people aren't telling you about is most people over 40 are trying to meet someone from their living room. When I ask people, they're saying they're either online dating and it's a soul-crushing experience, or they're doing nothing. They're hoping the Uber driver, right? It's like wanting to get fit by watching the Olympics on television. It doesn't work. You got to get into the game. Modern dating is messy. It's challenging. Men feel rejected. Women feel like somebody is going to show them a dick pic. Apps are fake. They feel overwhelmed, but there are still amazing people out there. I know hundreds. You just have to meet enough of them to find your person. And that means getting off the couch and back into the world.